Welcome back to Somali Aid, your tastemaker for every little thing. And as you can see, I am not at home. I have to travel for work this week. I'm actually giving a big presentation at a conference, and I figured instead of a traditional episode, I might just share some things that are inspiring me while I do my makeup and get ready for my big day. I showed you guys a little bit of my skincare prep before. I feel all prepped and ready to go. So yeah, let's get into some things that are inspiring me right now in the fall of 2024. And yeah, like and subscribe. Everyone let me know what you think of these types of episodes. Maybe we'll do them more often. Let's see how it goes. Alrighty, we're starting off with some primers. I like to double prime on days where I'm gonna be wearing makeup literally all day and I need to make sure it doesn't move. So let's get into it. And let's also get into the very first thing that is inspiring me right now, what I would be listening to if I were not filming, which is Troye Sivan, right? And Charlie XCX's Sweat Tour. So I really wanted to go to the Sweat Tour. I hadn't even really heard about it until it came to my city. And yeah, it seems like they really had a time. And so I looked up the video on YouTube and I have been playing their entire concert ever since. It was amazing. If you have a chance to go to the Sweat Tour, 10 out of 10 recommend. That was a time I was having it, you know, in my bedroom, like woo, party, but no, it was amazing. They're really getting down over there. So I would recommend you check out the Sweat Tour. And if you can't go in your city, go. Like I said, I listened to some of Troye Sivan's music, so I was familiar, but Charlie XCX was a little bit newer to me outside of like the summer hits of like Apple 363 or whatever. But listening to their whole set and hearing all the music they both had, it complemented each other so well. And it's just genuinely just a good time. I like to listen to them like on my wash days. In addition to just in the car, like honestly, it's just such a good pump up playlist if you have like an hour and a half to spare. So true, that's the first thing that's inspiring me a lot right now is Troye Sivan and Charlie XCX's Sweat Tour. Next, I'm doing the Yummy Skin Waterproof Serum from Danessa Myricks. I get sweaty in the face all the time, especially when I'm wearing a lot of makeup. So we're gonna do our best to avoid that by putting some of this on. It works extremely well. I've found that I have to put it over my entire face to make it like work all day, but I know it's very strong, so it's not gonna be like that for everybody. Anyway, the next thing that has really been inspiring me, and this is gonna be a very random agglamation, I should have prefaced this by saying that, is very random, but the vanilla bean cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. Now, prefacing, I am not a person that particularly likes cheesecake. Like I've only recently like started having key lime pies, like which is basically a cheesecake if you've never had it. But I had a friend of mine who I had seen in a long time and she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go home and get my vanilla bean cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory before going home. I'm like, girl, why? You're going all the way out of the way to go to the Cheesecake Factory? She's like, no, Bria, you have to try it. Shout out to you, Greer. So I decided like, let's see what the hullabaloo is about. I was driving by a Cheesecake Factory, went and got that. Y'all, the vanilla bean cheesecake at the Cheesecake Factory was so good it almost brought tears to my eyes. I don't like cheesecake. It tastes like vanilla ice cream, but like a little bit better because it's not as cold. When Greer told me about it, she was like, girl, it's simple, but it gets the job done. She ain't never lied. That thing is delicious. It's one of my favorite desserts I've ever had. And it's inspiring me because, I don't know, it just feels like life doesn't surprise me that often, especially in like a pleasurable, surprising yay way. So just to find so much joy and deliciousness in a brand new fun dessert that I never would have tried originally in a vanilla bean cheesecake is just such a fun thing for me. It makes me laugh. So yeah, the next thing inspiring me, vanilla bean cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. If y'all go get one, taste it and let me know what you think. Cause that, every summer from now on, I'll probably have a vanilla bean cheesecake. Like it's so good, it's so refreshing. So I don't always do this, but a lot of people are gonna see me today and I don't need a 5 o'clock shadow type situation to make me feel distracted. So we're gonna underpaint a little bit with some color corrector. This one is from Fenty. Yeah, in the color Pumpkin, Bright Fix. So we're gonna do a little bit under the eyes as well. Just a smidge. Come on. Anyway, other things that are inspiring me. So actually what I'm wearing right now, talk about another surprise and delight moment in my life. is the Skims, I know, Skims, is the Skims cotton set, which is actually on sale. Story time, I was going to the mall, I was in Atlanta, and I needed to go pick something up from a vendor over there. And I walked by the Skims store, it was like right as it opened, so there's no line. And I was like, you know, let's see what's going on in there. They seem very popular. And you know, it was exactly what you would expect from a Skims store, very aesthetically pleasing, but I didn't see anything that was like worth the money. But, and then I saw a, like something cheap that I was like, oh, this is convenient for me to buy here instead of ordering off Amazon. So when I was checking out, I was like on it to the lady at the front, the lady checking me out. I was like, honestly, what's like worth the money here? And she was like, to be honest, it's these cotton sets. I've got 3 of them and they're on sale right now. So like, it might be a good time for you to do it. And I was like, you know what? I'm here, they're on sale. It's under $100 for me to get one. Let's just see what it's talking about. And I went home and I tried on the Skim set, and it is literally the most comfortable thing I own. I actually am wearing it right now. You can't really, I don't know how to get this camera. Yes. Anyway, it's super soft, it's super warm. I plan to wear it with me every time I travel just to have something comfortable to wear around the hotel room. And I absolutely 10 out of 10 recommend this to anyone just looking for a comfortable lounge set. I feel like I own a lot of loungewear, so I'm like, Brie, you don't have a need for another loungewear, but this one is a standout. I really like it. It's very comfortable, and I would buy more in different colors if they had them available in different colors, and they're on sale. So yeah, that's the next one, the Skims cotton set, and I'll include like a link to it. I'll include like a link to it in the comment section or the box. You know what I'm trying to say. I'll include a link to it in the box. It's great, and hopefully it can remain on sale, and it's totally worth it. So that's the next one, the Skims set, which was a surprising one, surprise and delight, like didn't expect that. Next up, we're gonna do concealer. I love the Pat McGrath concealers, but unfortunately for me, I've owned these for a while and the nub fell off, so can't use this particular one, but I've got 2. I usually bring 2 different shades, but I guess I was in a rush packing because I brought the same shades. My shade is MD22. I usually like to do MD23 as well, but I guess we're going with the lighter shades today because it's all that I have. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Anyway, next thing on my list of stuff that is inspiring me right now is Jackie Aina's old YouTube videos. So they're all still up there. Like obviously Jackie has gone through an incredible transformation. She appears to have gotten married, which is very exciting for her. Not that, anyway, let me not even get into that. So yeah, she appears to get married. She's gone through a lot of personal transformation. I found myself looking back at Jackie's very first YouTube video she ever posted, and it just brought me so much joy to see this young Black girl like finding a lot of heart and I don't know, energy from sharing her passion for the beauty industry and just her passion for Black women to be seen and feel included. I know I'm certainly one of the people that she made feel seen and included. When I first came upon Jackie, I was like fully under the impression that Black women were just, I don't know, like they don't make makeup for us, and therefore, unless you have like an incredibly specialized skill set, you're not gonna be able to really make yourself look as glamorous as a lot of your non-Black counterparts just because the materials aren't available and it's just not for you, you know? And so what Jackie has done in my life, I mean, look at me now, I'm doing my makeup and I think it's gonna look absolutely astounding. Like for a big event, I don't have to necessarily pay anyone if I don't want to do my makeup, so I look my absolute best. And that's all because of Jackie, to be honest. She showed myself and a lot of other Black women, a lot of other Black creators, that it's there for you. And she is in my opinion, like the change agent for why the whole beauty industry is a lot more cognizant of what shades are available and what shades are available and what Black people might need that might be different from non-Black people when it comes to foundation range, concealer range, all sorts of things. Anyway, I think you guys are getting the point. Jackie Aina is the GOAT, and she taught an entire generation of young Black women that makeup is something that can include them and is for them. And I'm so grateful to her, and it's really inspiring to see kind of how all that began just with a couple of YouTube videos. So it aligns kind of with what I'm hoping might happen with me and Sommelier in the next 10 to 15 years. Maybe I'll be able to grind it out and see incredible transformation in my life the way Jackie has. But yeah, last thing I want to say on that is So when I was in middle school, high school, early high school, I went to a MAC counter and they told me, and I remember looking for a bronzer because I was just getting into makeup and I was like, okay, feels like this is something that would like add to the depth and feel of what I'm trying to do with my makeup. And they told me like, yeah, we don't sell any bronzers in your shade, but here's a eyeshadow. And it made me, and I bought the eyeshadow and I went home and it was super dark and it looked crazy, but it made me so sad because why is it that I'm always trying to have to use other things? And the word that's coming to mind is jimmy rig. I can't think of a better one. Jimmy rig something and put something together so that I can look the way that I want to look with my makeup. And it's just, it made me sad and it kind of blew out the candles, for lack of a better word, of like how I was feeling about makeup at the time. I was just so convinced like, yeah, this isn't for me. I have to figure out other ways to stand out. But like I said, Jackie changed that for a lot of women, myself included. So what's inspiring me right now? Jackie Anna's old YouTube videos and the change that she's made in my life and also in a lot of other people's lives. So shout out to you, Jackie. Love you, girl. Next up, we're gonna do some Rare Beauty in the color Wisdom. A little bit of blush, a little bit of blush. Yeah. Alrighty. So next on my list of things that are inspiring me right now is, we're gonna get to this step in a minute, but let's see if I can, let me go get it. So like I said, we'll get to this step a little later, but the next thing on my list is this YSL Candy Glaze in the color 14. I don't know what they're calling the color 14 off the top of my head, but this stuff right here is probably my favorite lip combo I have. You could even wear it by itself with my skin tone, but no, this is one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. It's not gonna be for everybody, but it certainly has been for me. YSL Candy Glaze, check it out if you're interested. Alrighty, so now it's time for foundations. I'm a Pat McGrath purist. I feel like I don't have a lot of time to be messing around with like, is it gonna look good? Is it not? Is it gonna be full coverage? Pat McGrath has got me all the way. I've heard good things about the Armani foundation though, so I might try that. Anyway, I'm using a combination of medium deep 26 and medium deep 30 because I had a lot of medium deep 30 because Pat McGrath has a lot of sales or whatever. But I realized by looking at pictures, I'm like, this look a little light, this look a little light. So I got the medium deep 30 and I've been mixing them together to help hopefully get like a nice match. But I only did that because I already had so many medium deep 26. So hopefully when there's another Pat McGrath sale, I can get the appropriate shade for me. Alrighty, so I mixed them both on my hand, and if I can find my, probably should have done this before. Where's my blending? Whew. Okay. Okay, so let's see if this is a match. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program, the things that are inspiring me. So next thing on my list of things that are inspiring me are a book series called Villains and Virtues. I found out about this book series from another creator on TikTok who does a lot of like lawyer content. She like reading of lawyer transcripts. And I just needed something good to read. It's a 3-book series. It's very silly, which is nice just to have something so different and silly and just not super serious to listen to. Like there's so much going on. Like it's just nice to take a break from all the, I don't want to call it doom and gloom, but just something fun and silly and easy. Anyway, it's a romance book. It's an enemies to lovers tropes, and it's super fun. Like, it's just so fun. It's so fun. I've really enjoyed reading all 3 of the books. I think the author actually just released a 4th book that is related to the series, but with different characters, and I'm going through that right now. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a little slow. It's a little slow so far, but I trust her because the first like half of the book, I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where are we going? Where are we taking? And then after maybe halfway through the first book, I'm like, oh, okay, I see where we're going with this. Let's keep going. And then I finished the first one. I'm like, oh my God, I need the second one. I finished the second one. Oh my God, I need the third one. Loved the way the third one ended. So good. So that's the Villains and Virtues series by, yes, the Villains and Virtues series by A.K. Caggiano. And then her new book is Bound to Fall, which I'm working my way through right now, which came out literally like 3 days ago. So check it out if you're like a audiobook, physical book reader, because this one was a fun one. Next, I'll do the Rare Beauty blush. Not the blush, sorry, the highlighter in the color Transcend. Woo. And I just realized I did not do my second layer of concealer. which I like to do. Alrighty, next I want to do my brows. Now I have a tint on my brows already, but again, this is a high visibility event and I just want to make sure my brows are not hiding in the back. But I love getting my eyebrows tinted because, you know, just one less thing to worry about. I love knowing that, you know, even when I'm not wearing makeup or anything, I have a little bit of extra support. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. So the next thing that's inspiring me slash I'm working my way through slash I'm forming my opinion about are the Sarah J. Maas books. So I read The Court of Thorns and Roses and like the whole series. To be honest with me, I didn't particularly think there was anything super revolutionary about A Court of Thorns and Roses. But when I read the second one, which I think is called A Court of Mist and Fury, I was like, oh, I see what you're doing here. And you actually have me sold. I'm actually completely 100% in. So finished that series and they were like, the second one was good. The third one was fine. I know a lot of people live and die by it. I thought it was fine. The fourth one is a novella. It's a Christmas episode, nothing to worry about. That fifth one though, I don't know if she's working with different editors or something, but I found the fifth one to be better than any book I'd ever read by her, which inspired me to read the Crescent City series, which was a lot. I really liked it because they were very long, heavy world building, and I liked it a lot. I loved it, actually. It's really different. And I read, and after reading that, I was like, okay, Throne of Glass. There are 7 of those books. That sounds like a serious commitment, and I am not. I don't know. I don't know if I want to commit to buying 7 of this lady's books. I guess I could go to the library, but the way my life is set up, I travel often. So I knew that I would probably just buy them on audiobook with my Audible subscription. Anyway, I was like, I don't know if I want to commit to buying 7 of these books. She's already gotten a lot of my money. So what I did instead, I read the first one and I wasn't impressed. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was fine. It was a little meandering. I did not feel compelled to read the rest of it. That was maybe a year and a half ago. No, like a year ago. Yeah, maybe like a year ago that happened. I read the first Throne of Glass book, but as time has gone on, and it seems like if you read the most recent Crescent City book, you know that she's starting to blend the worlds a little bit more. So I'm like, okay, everyone keeps talking about how great this series is. Let me buckle up and get into it. So I read the second book. It was better than the first, but I had very similar feelings of like, okay, where are we going? This is taking forever. But then I read, I think it was the third one, Heir of Fire, whatever one that was. I'm like, okay, now I understand what's going on. And at the same time, I'm rereading or rewatching the Lord of the Rings series. And I'm like, oh, this is her Return of the King. Like it's not Return of the King, but this is her Lord of the Rings, like push, like heavy world building, epic fantasy, okay? I'm talking a lot. Let me give you the TLDR. The TLDR is I'm starting to enjoy the Throne of Glass series. It's starting to get a little better. What's her face? Selena Sardathian is starting to get less on my nerves. And she's growing up and becoming a lot more, like it's just becoming a lot more of a fun experience for me. So anyway, I'll keep y'all posted on how I feel at the end of the Throne of Glass series, but I'm starting to see where we're going. I think it's a little bit much that I have to buy 7 books to get there, especially since the first couple were not as good as what I'm told the series is going to be in the end, but you know, these things take time. So let's see where they go. And also, when you think about 7-book series, you obviously have to compare it to Harry Potter, which this is not, but nothing else is. Anyway, yes, that's the next thing on my list is the Throne of Glass series / Sarah J. Maas's books, my honest take on them. Alrighty, y'all, now it's time to set. So I like to use the One Size setting powder. This is the color Translucent. I'm going to apply it with a brush. This is a trust the process. So yeah, I use translucent for the parts of my face where I had for the concealer, and then I set my foundation with the deep color from One Size, which I also, by the way, apply with a sponge. I know it's better to use a brush, but I don't. You know, we're doing the best we can. We're doing our best. Something else I've been liking to do lately is I use like these press pads and I really press the powder into the skin, and I've gotten like a really awesome, like seamless application this way, in contrast to just doing it like with a brush or with a sponge. How I like to do. Okay, next up. I know I look crazy, but it won't be that way for long. We've got our powder blushes. So I love the one from Marina Boutte in the color chocolate. And unfortunately for me, it shattered on the way here, but we working with what we got, okay? We working with what we got. And hopefully I'll be able to buy another one because I know they're often sold out, which is really why it's such a shame that it shattered, but we're working with it. We're working with it. But yeah, it's now time for our powder blushes and our powder products. Then I like to use a bronzer. I'm using Mocha Mami from Fenty to help get a little bit of definition in the cheekbones. And also the top of the head. I even like to do a little bit right on the chin just to give my chin a little bit more shape. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Alrighty. Next up, we're doing a little bit of highlighter. I'm using Fenty's Diamond Bomb in the color Rose Rave. And I'm wearing a bright orange suit. So I wanted something like a lot to break up all like the orange colors. You know, I have a brush for this, but I think it's easier for me to apply it with my finger. And so that is simply what we are going to do. Yay! It's so pretty. And I like it a little bit on the tip of my, so pretty. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it in the mirror. It's pretty. Okay, let's do eyes next. Hi, so my camera died and also my light died. So unfortunately you didn't get to see me make this look, but I'll tell you what I did. So I used Pat McGrath's Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction palette. Love this palette. I know people say, you know, you're supposed to wear this for your nighttime look, but I'm wearing a lot of orange. And I'm like looking, I'm gonna touch up my look a little bit. I'm wearing a lot of orange and I thought that like the blue, specifically this color, I don't remember the name of it, would really contrast against all the orange I'm wearing so it's not so matchy. It's pretty. Yeah, I love it. And then I also used the Lime Crime, I think it's called the Bangers palette. I take this with me everywhere that I go. The Bangers palette bangs. Absolutely love this palette. And I love their Lime Crime's, the word I'm looking for is eyeshadows because they actually stay on the skin. Like I really have a lot of trouble with some of these eyeshadows that they don't stay on the skin, which is why again I'm such a Pat McGrath purist because I just apply it once. I don't have to like worry about it fading or reapplying it during the day. And I found that the Lime Crime stuff is also similarly able to stick on the skin. So I'm about to get a little bit of breakfast before getting dressed. So I have just the liner of what I'm gonna wear, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, cannot go wrong with this Candy Glaze from YSL. I'm gonna be wearing that, and then I usually wear on top of it a butter gloss, and this one is the color Cinnamon Roll. It's my favorite. So I will show you the completed look with me dressed before I leave, and I will also put my lashes on, but until then, I'm gonna eat some breakfast. And yeah, oh, and the theme of this video, stuff that I'm like really into right now, I've talked about a lot of different things. I have not talked about music. So what I'm listening to right now is Tyla's album. What's it called? I think it's called Tyla, but the remix album. Absolutely been loving that. Obviously also been listening to Charlie XCX's remix of the Brat album. Have been very much enjoying that. But I think the one that was under the radar was, there's this artist called Ludmilla. I don't have my phone with me, but there's a song called No Se Ve that she has with another Brazilian artist that I listen to. I mean, you talk about triple platinum in my house. That song right there, triple platinum in my house. So those are the 3 things that I've been listening to that I think people should check out because I love it. All right, I'll show you the completed look when it's ready. Let me get my breakfast. Alrighty, I am all fed and watered. And now I'm finally going to put on what I've been talking about, the candy gloss. I lined my lips with Night Moth from MAC. And now I already put some on before the video, sorry. So, thank you so much for watching this episode. I would love to know if you check out any of my recommendations that I've listed. And I also wanna know if any of these things also ring true for you. Like, if you try the Skim set, I wanna know. Well, what I'm doing here, I put a little bit of concealer whenever I want the like extra, like ombre effect. Pretty. Anyway, and then I put on, if I can find it, yeah, there it is, the butter gloss that I mentioned earlier. So we'll put it on right here. And we have a completed look. Okay, let me lay my edges, do my hair, and get dressed. I'll be right back.
Pointing out that he had done all the carrying, and instead she just assisted in maneuvering him through the temple.
As I was saying, thank you so much for watching. This is the full look. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on my hair with a little leave-in conditioner. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you wanna see the full look and all the pictures, I'm sure I'll put them on Instagram. But yeah, this was some of the stuff that's keeping me inspired. And now I'm gonna go listen to the Renaissance album, which is like my pre-game hype up music before I go on stage. And so I'm gonna go listen to that right now. And, oh, and the suit is from Good American. It was on sale. And I said, I know just the event that I could wear this to. And then I'm gonna put on a little fragrance. This is the jacket. Last thing, I'm wearing Vanilla Skin. Okay, last thing, I'm wearing Vanilla Skin by Fleur, and I'm layering it with The Wedding by Kay Ali, which I had mentioned earlier, two of my favorites. And I'm only doing The Wedding with it because, you know, special occasion. Let's hit the girls with something new and different. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm gonna put some pictures of the event on my Instagram whenever I get them. I'm gonna go host a conference. Bye y'all, see you next time.